Welcome to the Union Fitness Podcast. A somber day here in the Union Fitness studio. Let me start out by stating that this is the final episode of the Union Fitness Podcast with our fine, esteemed producer, Josh Elsas.
Hi, everybody.
Josh is leaving us, everyone. Might have touched on that previously.
Yep, we did a whole Josh episode last week, which was very embarrassing, and I hated all of it.
I love everything about it.
Yeah.
He's going to go be a cowboy.
Very much so.
He has Spurs.
I have boots, spurs. I think I've got the whole outfit down, but it's not in brown or yellow yet, which is not my color palette, and it's very upsetting to my boss that I am in green and yellow, which is...
Do you have chaps?
Assless chaps.
No, I wasn't going to go there.
Leather.
But okay.
Leather.
All right.
Yep.
let him go
Absolutely.
there.
Absolutely.
We will be Googling. We will miss you. He's moving to Wyoming. This is big.
Yeah.
This is exciting.
Yeah. As
Working-
you're hearing this, it's Friday. I'm out.
Working in an athletic department. As someone who spent 20 years in athletic departments, I would just say,
I knew
run.
this was coming.
Run.
Knew that
Don't.
was coming.
I guess I'm headbutting the mic, everyone.
Yeah.
Headbutting the mic. Okay. We have a guest this week on the
We do.
Well, listen. We may take a 2-week hiatus as we reconfigure the podcast room.
Yep.
But we will be back. It's going to take a couple weeks, get it set up, because I figure within 2 weeks we'll be better than Josh already.
Are you hiring an outside piece to come in?
Once I figure out my new Apple Watch,
Oh,
the
it's
next,
you're going to do it all from the watch.
the next will be Alienware computer. I go Apple Watch, Alienware computer.
I'm impressed that. Oh, you read the side of it.
Yeah. You told me about it once.
I thought he just knew it.
You're like, wow.
I know.
He did
Everyone-
his homework.
Everyone hears that third voice and they're going, that's not CJ.
That's true.
Scores of listeners are saying, that's not CJ.
That's very true.
So, we should probably introduce our guest.
Sure.
But again, welcome to Union Fitness Podcast. Charles Jasper not with us this week. He is out with the men's lax program from the old Chatham University. For those of you who don't know, we train athletes here from Chatham University. We have their swim team, men and women's. We have women's basketball here. We have, who else do we have here? We have both men and women's hockey. We have men's lacrosse. We have women's lacrosse. And I believe that's who we train from them. And then Point Park, we actually oversee their athletic department. In addition to that, we have a prep school football team that trains here now. And on the side, we have one of the finest high school football programs in the country.
The finest in Western Pennsylvania for quite a while.
Yeah, Pine Richland High School.
Yep.
Who is now 1-1 in league. But you know what? Here we go, Rams. Let's bring them back. I'll be out there Saturday training the fellas.
There you go.
Yeah. So, I don't know how that leads in to our guest.
It leads into that you will be out there Saturday night training them.
Saturday morning.
Oh.
Because then I have a T-ball game.
That didn't work. I had something, but then it didn't
But then
work.
I have a T-ball game.
Mm-hmm.
Then second grade birthday party.
Okay.
Followed by a second grade birthday party.
Great.
Followed by running
getting
over my
there.
aunt's house.
Yes.
Then I
Uh-huh.
have a meeting at Federal Galley with one of our guests. I'm not going to say who yet. One of his mentors.
Oh.
Because we may be moving one of the largest strength and conditioning, one of the most well-respected strength and conditioning clinics in the country to here in Nova Place.
To here?
Yes.
That's exciting.
One of the most respected clinics with international presenters of
Wow.
science people. Not my kind of people.
You lie. You
I'm-
read science books for fun.
I'm more of a Scientologist than a scientist.
That's also not true.
Should we start the podcast?
Yeah, why are you doing this?
Are we
last,
recording?
My last
Yeah, hot mic.
podcast, and Hammer is just off the cliff. He's emotional. He can't deal
Jumped
with it.
into Wyoming, everyone.
Yeah.
What's in this cup? Connor Keenan, former employee
Boom. All
here.
right, we're here.
Former.
Yay.
Former employee of Union Fitness.
Yes.
Former University of Pittsburgh strength and conditioning intern under the Frank Barron.
Barron.
I'm just messing with Frank. Who else did you work with over there? Mary Beth.
Mary Beth, Tyler, who's no longer there.
Tyler, who's now at Ohio State.
And Taylor, who's still there. Taylor Gospel.
That's the baseball guy.
Yeah.
I don't really know him.
Yeah.
I heard he's a good dude.
He is. He
Good.
is.
I should,
They all are.
We should bring him over sometime.
Okay.
Yeah. And currently of the Fighting Gwinnies,
Go
Fighting
Gwens, yep.
Penguins
Yep.
of the Youngstown State University. We call it here the U.
Nobody calls it that.
So I'm going to tell you a story, and you'll
I
appreciate
think
this.
we just need. I can't leave because somebody has to fact check you. Somebody just has to be with a buzzer hitting every time you lie about
The,
something.
You know-
the U of the Midwest.
Yeah.
Do you know Reach Your Potential Training? It's Bobby Smith.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Okay.
Bobby, great guy. We presented at a lot of conferences together. We spoke actually at the same clinic at the University of Hawaii, which was pretty exciting. We spent some time in Hawaii together, went snorkeling and stuff. And he would always say, I was a 2-sport All-American at the U.
He went there.
So he said, yes, I went to the U,
Oh.
Monmouth University.
Ah.
And he said, and his point was, make where you are the university for you.
Right.
And he said, I was an All-American. I think he was a thrower and a running back at Monmouth University. So he always says, I was a 2-sport All-American at the U.
I've already started calling University of Wyoming the UW, and everyone's like, no, that's Wisconsin. And I'm like,
Yeah.
why can't it be us too?
Did
It's
you know
still
University of Wyoming's
W
original name?
State. No.
It was Wyoming Technical Institute.
Oh.
I made that up.
I was gonna say be glad they changed it. Be glad they changed it.
I was
Ooh.
trying to come up with more, but I was like, it's getting good. I started like Technical Institute A&M Tech.
It was like 1899 was when the school was founded. That's not a shoot. That's real.
Okay. Robert Morse was 1921.
Okay, so-
it probably never should have opened, huh?
Well, I'm not going to say that.
Connor, welcome to the
Working in
podcast,
athletics.
brother.
Yeah,
What's
thank you.
up?
Thank you.
Is it Connor's turn to talk?
I don't know. We're just gonna go wherever this leads.
I'll tell you what, this tea is pretty good today. That's tea from Colorado. Connor, so
What?
tell our listeners, man. Tell us what you're doing here. Well, first off, did you know you were coming on the podcast today?
I had no idea.
When did you
Very
show
impromptu.
So you just showed up about 3 minutes ago, and I said, let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, be fair. I texted you an hour and a half ago saying I was coming.
I see you're
Yeah.
looking on your Apple Watch.
Yeah.
How do you do that? Because I don't know on my Apple Watch.
Can you confirm or deny the rumor that you were afraid to be in this room alone with me on my last podcast episode because you would be emotional? And so you just grabbed the first willing body?
Oh.
Don't ask, don't tell.
Okay.
Words to live by.
Done.
That was on the news today. Because did you guys hear? Seriously, though, I thought this was good.
What?
There's a new federal rule that if you left the military during Don't Ask, Don't Tell, it was a dishonorable discharge. And now you actually are available. You can get benefits from the military if you left during that time because of
Well,
Don't
that's
Ask, Don't
good.
Tell.
I
Yeah.
did not
so-
hear that.
What's that?
I did not hear that.
Yeah, that was it happened the last couple of days, but that's exciting because people who left the military due to sexual preference or
Right,
sexual
right,
orientation
right,
or
right,
whatever
right.
can now actually get
Mhm.
VA benefits and whatever
Good.
else. So tell us about yourself, man. Tell us about the U that you're
The
working
U.
at. Yeah, Youngstown State
Yeah.
University.
For all listeners who don't recognize Youngstown as the U,
I do.
that is Youngstown. So let's see. Coming up on a year and a quarter there. So I'm currently a GA there with my responsibilities being just women's basketball and bowling, which is pretty cool as a GA to
How
have.
often does bowling lift?
Twice a week is mandatory. I got them in there third day because
Hey.
they like me.
See,
What
I
can, wait. What can they? I want to know, like that. You know the wrist thing.
Yep.
How much can they fucking do
Well,
on the wrist roll thing?
I don't do that.
never maxed out the wrist
Yeah,
roller.
no. That's the question I get. Everyone, it's like, oh, not how do you train basketball. It's like, how do you train the bowlers?
Well,
Yeah,
do you or do you not watch Kingpin repeatedly to prepare for it? Greatest film ever.
Well, I thought Big
I've never
Lebowski
watched
was
that.
your
Big
favorite film
Lebowski is
ever.
a great bowling film. So is Kingpin. But the scene when he pulls out the rose bowling ball,
Yeah.
Bill Murray.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Not a
You never
clue.
saw Kingpin?
Nope.
Can
I'm uncultured.
you should watch Kingpin just to joke with the bowlers.
Okay. Okay.
Do 19 and 20-year-old bowlers watch Kingpin?
I can
Probably
ask.
not.
Ask
I can
him.
ask.
Find out. I'm kind of
I
curious.
can
Text
ask.
me
Yeah.
that.
I can ask.
So, I brought bowling, and I cut you off for a reason here, and I'll let you get back to what you're saying. But one of the interesting things to me in strength and conditioning is when you train the non-traditional sports.
Oh,
and
yeah.
People always do that. Like,
Yeah.
well, there's golf lift, there's
Yeah.
bowling lift, and
Yeah.
you're like, some of the best kids I ever trained
Yeah.
came from those because they just wanted to be respected as athletes.
Mhm.
They wanted to work hard. They wanted to have some fun in
Yeah.
there. They wanted, and you show them a little love, give them a pat on the
Mhm.
back, help them a little bit in their training, and they take off. They take off,
Oh, yeah.
and I think quite often people don't realize a stronger, more agile, more mobile athlete is a better athlete.
Mhm.
I don't care if you're talking about darts, bowling,
Yeah.
or basketball.
Mhm.
Like, if you increase your mobility, I'm no bowling expert, but when that leg kicks back, it looks like a curtsy lunge. to
Yeah.
me.
Oh, 100%.
Like, you
yeah.
have to have hip mobility in order to
Mhm.
do that little leg thing they
Yeah.
do. So that's one of the interesting parts.
Mhm.
But I'm sorry. So you train bowling and women's basketball.
Yep,
Do you
bowling.
travel with women's basketball?
I will this year, so that's why I only have those two now.
And so you'll be at the Robert Morris game. I will be
I
there
will,
in my
yep.
Youngstown. I need a new Youngstown shirt.
Yeah,
Can you get me?
I
like a
can.
Hat,
I can.
Hat too?
Not basketball. We don't do hats.
Oh yeah. Why would you?
I mean, like hats are nice to walk around campus in.
No.
Keep the flow back.
Well.
Backwards hat. Can you get me a skull cap, like winter hat? No. Yeah. No.
I don't even have any hats.
Before we started recording, we asked Hammer what was the last thing he actually purchased. That wasn't like, hey, can I have this? Oh, is this for free? Hey, I'll trade you something
Alienware
for it.
computer.
Yeah, right? That's going to be, no, this is used. This is all used. Yeah.
The answer was a Hatebreed CD.
And a Hatebreed
I
CD.
remember that. It was about 12 years ago.
Which is just the most you answer there ever
I
was.
don't purchase things.
Yeah.
I did buy
Fair.
a car. It was $6,000.
Right. But that was used.
Yes, it was. Very quite used. I still drive it. It's in the shop right now. It needed $100 of work, so it wasn't bad. So, so tell us about what you got your women's basketball team here you're with probably 5 days a week, right?
Mhm.
Practice, the whole
Yep,
9
yep,
yards.
the whole 9 yards.
You
Yep.
get your bowling, you see 3 days a week. Tell us about Youngstown. What do you do there? Tell us about the kids. Tell us about everything.
Well, so I sort of fell into like a pretty lucky. I wouldn't call it lucky scenario, but an ideal scenario is like a GA. Like I have a pretty balanced life, whatever you want to call that is, because I only have those two teams. That'll change as like we get closer to the season. But like when I started there, like I had 9 of the 18 sports. Because of like some coaching changes, like which happens in college athletics and just like coaches moving on and shit like that. Can I curse on here?
Did you hear Josh?
I don't know.
I don't think I've said the F word.
He did 3 times. I've been
I already
counting.
did?
It's on the Apple Watch.
It's on the Apple Watch. Dun-dun-dun,
My
Shane.
phone just told me something about China's promising to fund coal plants around the world. I don't know what's going on with this Apple Watch, but I'm sorry. I got a new used Apple Watch, everyone.
He needs to turn the notifications off.
Yeah, I need to figure that one out. We'll
It's
get
probably
there.
still set to somebody else's
Yeah,
Apple.
phone.
I guess.
Somebody else's phone.
Guaranteed. Like he's getting text messages from somebody else's wife. He thinks it's Erica.
I love you.
Yeah.
No, it said I love you. It was not Erica. Whoa, I'm on one today. All right,
Oh
so
God.
so you got first off Youngstown. If you haven't been there for a game, it's actually a cool gym, small arena.
Yeah.
It's a cool
Yeah.
spot. Weight room right there. I like what they do on game day where you can see into the weight room. Like it's a cool place.
Yeah.
How's the team looking? You gonna be good this year?
I think the women's basketball team's actually gonna be really good this year.
Win the conference?
Potentially.
Ooh.
So we went through like some transfers, some players transferring out and stuff like that, and got decent amount of freshmen and then a decent amount of transfers also.
Robert Morris transfer.
Yep. Shout out Callie, Megan.
Meg Callie. You know why she's Callie? Because there was a Megan Senior when she got there.
I had to go with
And
nicknames.
Megan was a first-team All-Conference player. Megan Smith, Canadian. So we
Makes-
couldn't go
makes
Megan.
sense,
So
yeah.
she was Callie.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, so Callie, you should see. They just did an interview with her. They
Yeah.
like asked her, why'd you come here? Like, why'd you transfer to Youngstown? She's like, 'cause you beat us last year.
Dang.
Actually, that's the kind of like, hey, I feel like we should have won, and this place is holding me back. I'm gonna go
Yeah.
to the place that's winning.
I thought that was so funny.
I was waiting for you to say because I had Hammer as a strength coach, and I needed someone like him. So but
There you go.
but better and younger and better looking.
I don't have much hair though.
I do have some lettuce. This is a fact. Josh used to have it, and he actually
know.
had a curly Q mustache. It was terrible.
Oh,
No, it was bad. It almost
I
as
like
bad
the
as
mustache. I
CJ's
like the
current
mustache.
mustache.
It's okay.
Mustaches are not good. I don't care.
Yeah,
I know
but-
they're hip right now. They're not.
But if
good.
you can't grow a beard, and that's all you have, that's all you have.
well, yeah,
You
but
gotta-
that's the problem. CJ can grow a fine beard.
yeah. Well, CJ's also a little bit of a fucking weirdo. Oh, there was an F word.
There's 4.
1, 2,
Oh,
3,
Jesus,
4.
I
I
gotta
got the gavel out. All right.
Almost 5.
CJ's very much a weirdo.
Yes.
CJ, he's my dude.
Right.
I keep hiring the guy.
I don't think anybody hates CJ in this room. No. Okay. I had to look around.
Anyone hiding back there?
Yeah,
the Rock is.
yeah,
the
Rock
Rock's eyeball me in that
and the fatheads guy.
fathead.
Not sure about it.
Not
but
sure. He has a
yeah.
mustache too.
Yeah.
But my thing on mustaches, you gotta
he
be like
does.
a 50-year-old Pittsburgh dad to have a mustache. And as a true
50-year-old
40-something-year-old Pittsburgh dad, like I had my scout shirt on walking down the scouts yesterday. True dad look. I actually sent Sarah Rosner a selfie and said, every time I do this, I think of you because you said you are the ultimate dad. And so
White socks?
I might have to go to Dick's and buy some white New Balances, get green toes.
They're Nikes, believe it or not, which I know is going to be diffed for you.
No, you can find the.
You can
the
do
white,
the New Balance with the N on the side, just the
Yeah.
white with the like blue outlined end.
Okay.
It's the same thing.
They're called the Nike ones are called Air Monarchs.
Yes, the Air Monarchs,
Yes.
but there's also the
Yes.
New Balances.
Okay.
I was actually speaking at this conference at the University of Vermont about 5 or 6 years ago, and I'm at the hotel checking in, and I'm there with Tenzig, and Erica's checking. She was checking in, and me and Tenzig's goofing off or whatever, and all these dads are checking in, and they're all around my age. And I'm staring at them, and I have like nice slacks on and nice like shoes, not sneakers, and like a nice shirt. And they're in like the dad look, like either jeans or cargos, the white Nikes or New Balances, and like the bad golf shirt or bad T-shirt. And I'm thinking like, why? Like, do you pick those shoes out intentionally? Like, do you, like seriously? Like,
Was there a meeting before this?
You weren't invited.
I'm okay with not being invited to that.
To that
meeting.
one, yeah. You
I'm
skipped that
okay.
meeting.
Like,
Yeah.
Why? Why?
I don't know. That's a good question.
I want to delve into this.
I can call my dad because that's what he would wear.
Yeah, like
I mean,
Dad,
like to a T.
and you know what he would say? Well, I haven't bought anything since the CD in 1986.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very
Yeah.
famously, my dad pulled a pair of Air Monarchs out of a dumpster in the back of a Dunham's. Those are his favorite shoes, and the shirt that
Check
he
my shoes out.
found. We used to work at the same restaurant. He found it on like in the freezer in the back was this shirt, and it was like frozen. And he like scraped it off the thing and like let it, and like basically brought this shirt back to life. But it was Banana Slugs minor league baseball team.
Banana Slugs, yeah.
And so like that was
Well,
like
do you-
my dad every fucking day was in.
I am not
making.
making this up. This is a true.
Yeah.
You know about the Banana Slugs? How
No.
new owners came in and they were trying to find a way to reinvent the team, whatever, and they came up with this new name, and they did very well. There's a long story behind it.
I didn't know that
yeah,
at
Google
all.
It, Google it sometime.
Okay.
But yeah, so let's delve back into Youngstown. So,
Let's get back to our guest.
what's your training day look like with your ladies?
Which team?
Touche. Women's basketball.
Okay.
I just figure you
Yeah.
spend
You
nothing
know-
against the bowlers. Again,
Yeah.
I've worked with all kinds of levels of sports, and I just know you spend significantly more time with them, so you're more involved with that sport.
Very, very much so, and I think that's something I don't think they had with their previous coach.
Okay.
So like when I first got them, like I was
Are you gonna be that guy telling me all the things you fixed?
potentially, I don't know. Is it
no rear doubts.
Well, is it fixed, or is it just like I feel like this is how you quote unquote get buy-in, or just be like, hey, I'm interested in you guys outside of the weight room
As a human being,
yeah
I care about you as a person.
Exactly.
Listen, take this with you. I've always said, treat the human first, the athlete second, and the sport third.
Yeah.
Always do it in that order. Human first, athlete second, sport third. Do that, you have a chance.
yeah and like I think that's why like I have a great relationship with them.
Yeah.
Is like because of that, and like I showed I was interested in like just other stuff besides the weight room with them.
I mean, you sent one here for observation
Yeah.
hours.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're thinking
I don't
there.
know. Me neither.
So do they lift it in groups? One
Yeah,
big
so
group
we
come together?
go right now. We're going 2 groups, like one before, one after.
Okay.
After our practice, we have done like 3 in the past, which is more like based on positions. So like our guards will be like in one group, sort of hybrids in another, and then like our bigger centers, forwards in like a third group. Right now, as we're practicing more, or more emphasis is going towards practice. Now it's just down to 2 groups, sort of with like our potential lower minute girls before practice and potential higher minutes after practice. That's sort of how our head coach likes to do it. Like put practice first.
What's his name again?
Barnes, Coach
I've met him
John
a
Barnes.
handful of times. Yeah, I don't.
He's a good dude. Good
Yeah,
guy.
seems like a good guy. Yeah.
But so that's what we're doing right now, in terms of like positions and like how we're breaking them up. Partly because he likes that, and I agree with it. Like, develop the younger girls or who might not play as much, and then put practice first for the other girls, and then get lifting and training in after practice.
So you hang out with the nerd science side of the strength coaches, the DeMayos, the Frankies.
Yeah, I appreciate that
knees
side.
over toes, all that, So, all that,
Mhm.
I'm living on the edge of strength and conditioning. Do you squat them?
Do I squat them?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I was going to say
Yeah.
get the hell out.
Yeah.
Are trap bar deadlifts the greatest lift ever?
The greatest lift ever?
If you say yes, get the hell out.
I'm gonna say no.
Okay, good
Yeah.
answer. Good answer. This is like rapid fire.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is okay.
Here we
So
go.
Yes.
for the people who aren't strength and conditioning coaches,
Yeah.
reel it back. Is squatting
Those
them
people exist.
from the sports science side of it good or bad?
It depends.
Okay.
Well, so a lot of and the reason, and I say this, half-heartedly, is how you train an athlete doesn't matter. Results matter.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
Are they more mobile? Are they stronger? Are they more explosive?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're probably doing a good job.
Yeah.
Do you have to squat an athlete? No.
No.
Okay.
Is it easier to train an athlete when you can?
Yeah.
Sure.
Like-
Front squat, back
Yeah.
squat, overhead squat if you feel inclined, whatever.
On a Bosu ball?
No. And I say this kind of half jokingly because one of the things I find humorous is that right now in strength conditioning, everyone like trap bar deadlift is like it's the answer.
Mhm.
Trap bar deadlift, trap. Everyone's like, why? Because it's technique's perfect, blah, blah, blah. And then everyone goes heavy on it, and then technique goes to crap anyways.
Yep.
But they love to put weight on. So it's one of those things that yes, it makes sense, but then it
Mhm.
becomes kind of bastardized,
Yeah.
Right.
and
Mhm.
it's not done trained properly. So it's like you took a good science. And you ruined it by the end. It's like a Joe Rogan idea. Hey, that's
Yeah.
not a bad thought.
There
How
it
did
is.
you screw it up, Joe Rogan?
You're just playing the hits today.
Joe's
You're just
terrible.
playing the hits today.
Listen, we all know Joe's terrible. But, and I think that's the thing. My issue with, like, say, a trap bar deadlift is that it's a good lift. It's a fine
Okay.
lift. It's not the greatest lift ever. And there are two sets of handles on trap bar deadlifts. No one knows. If you flip it over, there's these lower handles that make it harder to do.
But
You
no
handle
one uses them.
less weight, but no one uses that. Why is that? Because it's hard.
Yeah.
You have to handle less
Yeah.
weight.
That makes so much
And
sense.
I mean it's a fine lift,
Mhm.
but it's like I was reading in a strength conditioning like Facebook group, whatever, something, maybe some on Instagram, I forget what it was, but it said something like, do you think a trap bar jump is a good replacement for an Olympic lift? And to me, the answer is absolutely not. It's not a replacement. It's a different lift.
It
Yeah.
also seems
Yeah.
very dangerous
Yeah.
to be jumping inside of the trap bar.
There's more dangerous things.
Okay.
Like squatting
Now I
on
know
a
they're
ball.
they're
Yeah.
athletes, right?
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
hopefully they're able to do that. But
Yeah.
also that seems like
It's-
a good way to roll an ankle or drop a plate on a foot.
as long as you're not doing snatches with the trap bar like some strength coaches I know.
I don't even know how you do that.
I
mean, that's
You can find it on the interwebs.
That's intense.
well, I would say the best lift is like the one you get the response from, or like the one
Yeah.
that's best for that athlete.
It doesn't matter.
Like-
And I think that is a mind-blowing statement.
And like
Simplicity, but mind-blowing.
like I have like one girl, she like I'm only ever gonna pit shark her.
Yeah. Because of her limitations.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the things that too often people become entrenched, whether it be like I made the joke of knee over toe guy or glute guy or whatever. And it's like, hey, improve their squat.
Mhm.
If you take their squat from a 6 out of 10 and make it a 7 out of
Yeah.
10, you've made it better. I trained Chatham women's basketball, and we had 5:30 this morning. They're in there lifting. Turkish get-ups our first time day. Turkish get-ups to me are hilarious because they become such a hot they're the greatest lift ever. They're the worst lift ever. Like, they're fine at the beginning. They're fine at the end. If they're a core lift, you stink. And we were doing them at the end, and they were atrocious at it, and none of them could stabilize their shoulder. And they couldn't stabilize their shoulder because they weren't controlling their lower body, so they were getting such bad position. And so at the end, I put them together. I was like, look, ladies, like, we introduced some Olympic lifting, and honestly, like, I was blown away by how quickly you took to it. And then you did that, and it was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. And I'm blatantly honest with them. I was like, it was terrible. But go back to one of my favorite sayings: if you judge a fish by its ability to fly, you'll think it's an idiot, right?
Never heard this from you, but
that's
I'm
a great
writing that
one.
one down.
That's a
I
great
think
one.
it was like an Einstein or something. And
Yeah.
I'm sure I paraphrase and mess it
Yeah.
up. But the whole point is
Yeah.
that, like, if you want to learn how to swim, talk to a fish. If you want to learn how to fly,
Right.
talk to. And I said, ladies, if you want to work on your crossover, don't talk to me.
Yeah.
but I'll get your Turkish get better. And I was like, I don't
Yeah.
care. And that's the thing with training athletes. I think people get lost at. You can be terrible at a lift.
Mm-hmm.
If you get better at a lift and it improves performance, the lift doesn't have to be perfect.
Sure.
Just be better.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's
Yeah.
missing.
I think I hit my new boss, with a flipped phrase. You know, the "keep it simple, stupid," right? Which I hate that phrase
I love that
because
phrase.
no, I got a better one for you, right?
Oh, here it
So,
goes.
if keep it simple, stupid. One, you're insulting the person.
Yeah, but I talk about myself doing it, so that's cool.
Still, you're insulting the person, and you're implying what simple is to you, right?
Touche.
But if you simply flip it to keep it stupid simple, to the point where it is
Stupidly simple.
stupidly simple.
Hey, aren't you now defining what's stupidly simple?
Yes, but I think
I get your
it's
point. I get
closer,
your point.
you know,
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
break it down to its nuts and bolts, kind
Yeah.
of, you know.
Can
for
I
ba-
just
the
say-
basic point. Yeah,
You know my least favorite saying? It is what it is.
it is what it is.
I hate, like such a defeatist. Like when someone says that, my boss at one of my previous jobs used to drop that on me daily, and I wanted
It is
to
what it is.
headbutt him so hard
Ugh.
because I'm like, you know,
It sounds like
deal with
cop-out.
this. It is what it is. I'm like, but
It sounds like cop out.
yeah, like to me, well, why is it that way?
Yeah.
Well, because it is.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
can we make it better? Can we
Yeah.
improve it?
Mm-hmm.
Her, you know, her squat's terrible. Well, it is what it is. Can we improve
Okay.
it? What can we do
Yeah.
to help?
Yeah.
So, are you still training? You still lifting?
Yeah. I am.
How's it going?
Very, very different than what I've trained in the past. More of just doing what I want to do. Like I'm not training for anything in particular, but more just like testing out different things I want to do or different things I would want to do with athletes, and keeping it like pretty short. So like my lifts only last like 30, 40 minutes,
Nice. I like.
and
that.
like
I'm all about a short lift.
and I enjoy it much more because like if I was gonna do like a longer lift like that, I'd like plan and put like a hour of thought into. By like the end, I'm just like, why am I even here?
Yeah, and I think that's the mentality of that lift
Yeah.
is what's important.
Yeah.
You have to come
Yeah.
into a lift prepared for
Yeah.
your goals
Yeah.
and doing what you want to do.
Yeah.
Cody actually put a great graph up one time, and it was 4 quadrants and
Mhm.
said, "Do I enjoy it? Does it make me better?" And he
Mhm.
said, and I like this one. I've
Yeah.
used it, and feel free to
Yeah.
steal it. Do I enjoy it on this? Does it make me better? And take the quadrant and then X out
Mhm.
your lift, whatever, anything in
Mhm.
life you could use
Oh,
it
yeah.
for. And I do it with Tenzing. I'm like, do you enjoy it? Yes. Does it make you better? No. Okay, well, it's down here, so
Mhm.
we can do it, but it's not
Mhm.
super important,
Yeah.
and if you really enjoy something and it makes you better, then
You should prioritize.
Yeah.
Essentially.
yeah, so you have to pick things from all over those
Mhm.
kind of top 3 quadrants to improve.
Mhm.
You want to do things you enjoy. You want to do things, and I think that's one of. So give me this. I'm working with a Division III women's basketball team.
Mhm.
Pretty good buy-in. A few of the kids you could tell, are a little hesitant
Mhm.
still. Something that a lot of strength coaches have done, I think, recently has been like creating new things to get buy-in.
Mhm.
Creating a new environment, making it fun.
Yeah.
Give me one thing I need to start doing to create more buy-in and have fun with my team.
Let's see. Well, creating like buy-in to me is a lot, tougher, easier said than done, obviously.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure like knowing you probably let them into your life pretty well. Like I would
just
imagine.
tell random stories all the time.
And that's what I
Really?
Believe it or not.
I think that's the best way to get buy-in from them.
I agree. Yeah,
Um,
but so what I'm looking for, like, hey, this one like game we didn't.
Oh,
win,
why
or
they-
one, something that like created fun for them.
Honestly, I think the results for most of them
I respect that
is
answer.
enough.
Yeah.
Like let's see, I could probably find the video of like one of my girls doing her first ever chin up, and now you're gonna get all the coaches, but her chin up's gonna make her score more. Like no.
No, but she's gonna believe in herself.
Yes.
It's gonna create
No,
a belief.
but like,
and,
like
yes.
you look on the like just like the smile on her face after that chin up, like there's a purpose that like behind that.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a merit there for trying to get that better.
Yes, I agree, and I think having that progression, that ability to watch an athlete progress. I mean, the reason I asked is honestly, selfishly, like I'm trying to find ways that hey, I think I have pretty good buy-in. The coach is on board with what we're doing, and I still feel that there's that left-sided bell curve that isn't fully bought in. We're
Yep.
training super early in the morning. We're dealing with a D3 team. Now, I walked into a great situation. As a fourth-year coach who the team wasn't good when he got there, and they've crept up, and they finished last year fourth in their league.
Mm-hmm.
So now they're kind of breaking that top third. So now you're sniffing that top of the league. With a lot of girls returning, I'm like, hey, this is a team that strength and conditioning might be that piece of the puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're looking at D3, not all these have strength coaches.
Yeah.
I look across their league, and Teal's in there, and Allegheny College, and Allegheny has a strength coach, but Teal does not. And so you kind of look, and it's a hodgepodge. So that's why I kind of asked on a selfish standpoint. But I think your answer, absolutely holds water. Create moments that make them win.
Yeah, well, because I mean, like for them, obviously the end goal is the sport.
Yes.
So like, how is it gonna relate to the sport or to success in that sport?
Touche. I remember J.L. Holdsworth once said this to me, and I really dug this one. And we actually kind of, as we conversed about it, tied it back to CrossFit. But he said, stop regressing athletes and start progressing athletes. Mm-hmm. And he said, one of the problems with CrossFit is they say, today we're going to do snatch with an overhead squat. If you can't do that, you're going to do snatch. If you can't do that, you're going to do snatch hypo. Mm-hmm. If you can't do it, and he would keep stepping back. And he said, that's demoralizing. Mm-hmm. If you say we're going to do snatch and overhead squat today, and half your team can do it, the other half's going to be demoralized. As opposed to saying, we're doing snatch pulls. If they feel good, go ahead snatch. Yeah. Hey, if that feels good, let's go ahead and hit the overhead squat. If. So it's a progression. I think one thing I've learned in coaching in the last 20 years is that you must keep that positive, not, the carrot's better than the stick. Mm-hmm. Keeping that positive mentality. Mm-hmm. Where 20 years ago it was, MFU. Get your butt under the bar and do it because I said so. Mm-hmm. And that doesn't fly.
Well, I think especially now with right, so you met Lexi, one of my basketball players. They wanted.
Lexi's a badass.
She is.
So
I mean, you should see her do chin-ups. 25 pounds. I mean, she bangs them out. It's impressive.
Wait. I'm
impressive.
Come this year to Robert Moore's game and cheer in my Youngstown shirt and no hat.
No hat.
I'm gonna wear Robert Moore's hat.
But I think this is something with this generation that's coming up. They want to know the why behind things.
Oh yeah, I agree.
More than ever. And I think if they don't see the why behind it, they're the effort's just gonna be lackadaisical. They're not gonna focus do it as heartedly.
And I'll one up you there. And I think a lot of times coaches and the people of my generation, instead of taking on that challenge, they go, oh, this generation they're lazy or they don't care. And it's like, well, no. They want to work for you. But they also want to be committed to a purpose. Mm-hmm. So if you give them that why, I'm sure you've read the book Start With Why, and I think that's such a great lesson. And as you age, you must evolve, because as you're working with these young people, you have to realize that what worked 10 years ago does not work today. Mm-hmm. And I look back on my career and I made that mistake so many times. I didn't evolve fast enough. Because every year it's a new crop of people, and every year they have new thoughts. And I realized that this year when we talked about September 11th, I'm like, oh, some of you have no idea. That is a historical moment to you. Mm-hmm. To me, it was. I remember I was a young adult. For you, even yourself, how old are you? You were a baby. Yeah. It's not like you remember hey, I was sitting in grad school. Yeah. So it's a different world. So any big thoughts you got? Grand, give me teach our listeners something that that they need to know.
Oh, this is just a deep question here.
Oh, I thought you had a deep answer. Now I feel disappointed.
Yeah, no. Something that I know that others don't.
I mean, drop something on us, brother. You got a story, a go-to moment, a thought?
See, this is what happens when they just spring the podcast on you.
I know, and I am over here with the Jeopardy theme track in my head. My son's name was an answer on Jeopardy last week, or a question, I guess.
Oh.
Yes.
What was the question?
Well, the answer
was Tenzing.
Was the Sherpa who assisted Sir Edmund Hillary climbing Mount Everest. The answer was, who is Tenzing Norgay?
There you go.
What is your thought? Because I want to share when you're done, so I don't want to steal your thunder, bro.
You go first. Let me collect this.
I knew he was going to do that to me.
Yeah.
These young kids.
I'm smart.
Back in my day.
Yeah. If you were given the chance to speak by a superior, you spoke until they told you to shut up.
So, and I shared this story. So, there were more Tuskegee Airmen. Do you know what Tuskegee Airmen were?
I've heard you tell the story, I think.
Okay.
I think so.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a rerun for you.
I think
Yeah,
so.
new to the podcast, I think.
Okay.
New Tuskegee. There were more Tuskegee Airmen from the Pittsburgh region than anywhere else in the United States. Specifically, they came from the Swickley Valley. Swickley, which of course we know means Sweetwater, referring to the Ohio River. It was a native word, but because of that, there is a Tuskegee Airmen Memorial in the Swickley Cemetery, only a few hundred yards from my home. And I actually would run RMU women's basketball up there every year. I couldn't get the men's basketball to agree because, like, men's basketball, they're a pain in the butt. And we would run up to it. And there's a quote that I have reflected upon many a day. I've sat there with Tenzing. I've sat there with my dog. I've sat there by myself having coffee, just reading the quote over and over. And it says, we helped African Americans hold their heads high, period. Then it goes on to say, America is not perfect, but I will hold her hand until she gets well. And I always use that with my athletes. And here's the reason why. None of us are perfect. As a general manager of a gym, I drop the ball all the time. The other day I was in here in the morning, CJ texted me, he's like, I forgot to do something. You got me covered? I was like, yeah, I got you. We're all imperfect beings. But if we have a trust and respect for each other and we hold each other's hands and help each other. And this gentleman who just came back from war and then was told he couldn't drink in water fountains or eat in restaurants, instead of having vitriol, hatred, and negativity, he said, I know you're not perfect. I'm going to help you get better. And so that's my lesson for the day via Mr. Rogers. Not via Mr. Rogers. It's just, felt like I threw Mr. Rogers in there.
Okay.
So what do you got, man?
I know. That was so well thought out.
Yeah,
it's not fair to just throw
how,
it out.
how is this fair? Ay.
I'm getting a phone call.
Yeah, you are. Go ahead. Answer it.
No, it's my mechanic. My car's done.
Oh.
I know his number.
Okay.
I'm just gonna, let's see.
What?
What do you got? What do you got? What do you have? What do you have? What do you have? I'm leaving you hanging here, brother.
I know.
So, don't you have a story you end the lift with?
A story. Well, so usually I let them. Well, here I'll run you through what this has been my go-to, and probably like will be my go-to like every year. So during the like September, was it like 8th week or something like that? Is like suicide prevention week.
Oh yeah.
Right. So like my brother was suicidal. Like my dad has been on antidepressants. Like one of my best friends like wrote a suicide letter to my friend group. So like I bring that up every time like that September 8th week with all my athletes. Like did that my first year at Youngstown, just did with women's basketball, and like it's just like a pin can drop, cause like I'm in front of them just like trying to hold it together in front of them, and they're just like, wow, like this is actually like a real moment for them and for me. So.
And I think going above and beyond what you do as a strength coach, performance coach, whatever you want to call it, is what matters.
Yeah.
And also, I think something as hard as a young coach is to create those humanizing moments where you can show, because like as an old coach, I feel like one of the bonuses I can screw up and be like, I screwed up, it's on me. But I think with my age, I get a pass on that. Whereas when a young coach screws up, they're like, oh, he's disorganized. But I think that's an awesome opportunity to show that you're human. You're human who has struggles, challenges, and whether it be, something that I've dealt with in my family is suicide. We probably all have.
Yeah.
Probably everyone sitting here. And, it's something that I think we as a country and as a society hid from for too long. And now it's like we're actually starting to talk about it, and that's a huge win. So I do appreciate that, brother.
Yeah.
Well, hey, listen, man, I wanted to have you on the podcast. You were here. I was like, you know what? Let's throw him on. We were actually, my plan today was to talk about the great David Bowie song, Changes.
Oh. One of my all-time favorites.
Yeah, great song.
Yep.
And since you are going through some changes,
Oh,
we were
man.
going to tell change stories.
Oh.
Just stories about change.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to start. So come up with a change
Okay.
story.
Okay.
Okay.
This
All
is
right.
rapid
All right.
fire.
All
We're
right.
done.
All right. All right.
I'll give you guys a minute.
Yeah.
My change story will come down like this. I had a job, had been there 12 years. I got fired one day. We know this story. It's funny because there was the only time in my life I was ever let go of a job, and it was, shocking. I didn't think I would be, but whatever. And I immediately went to work here, just doing personal training. And I found that after I was fired, had this like army of people who were willing to go to bat for me. And it reminded me of how all the work you do today is just a small investment, so that tomorrow when the ship's not sailing so smoothly, you have all these ships around you saying, hey, let me give you a hand. Let me help you out. How can I get you here? How can I help you do this? And people always say it's easier to get a job when you have a job. That's BS. It's BS, because when you have a job, you don't have that army of boats coming in saying, let me help you. But if I found out you lost your job today, I'd call you and be like, hey, man, do you need a job? Telemarketers call me. I don't like it. This ruins this Apple Watch. But I think the lesson there is that change can be uncomfortable, but if you put yourself in a good position and you have that right team around you and those people around you, change can be a great thing, because people are going to pull for you and fight for you and do the right things. And the little things like the swim coach at Wyoming, just, hey, here's a random person who's a good dude that that I know, and we're going to be friends. And so what do you got, man? Changes.
So when I was going into my freshman year of high school, my defensive partner and I had been together for an entire year, and when we came back, he was about 5 inches taller. And we used to be about the same size, about the same skating level. He had a little bit better hands than me, but that 5 inches immediately became something that spread us apart.
So you get dunked then?
No, he kept playing hockey. But those
he was a nice creature.
Those 5 inches,
Didn't do well
made a big difference. And he went on to not only change position from defense to forward, but got a lot more attention, got dragged up to the JV team, and a bunch of other things, right? And that year as a freshman, I was left on what is called like the intermediate team, and I was the only one left behind. And that was probably the most defining change in my life, because I remember coming home, realizing that I did not make the JV team, and my entire team did make the JV team. And I said, that will never happen again. I will never get left behind because somebody got something magical that happened to them that I didn't get. And I think that's probably where my work ethic came from. I think that's where my piss off attitude came from largely. And so, that was probably like, that was a change. I just remember being like, that's not fair that he grew and I didn't. And now all of a sudden, just because he's taller, he gets to go to JV and I didn't. So
he was probably better looking too.
Long Mav.
Had a nice beard.
Mav's a
beard.
good-looking
Yeah.
dude.
Mustache.
Blue hair, long
blue
blonde hair.
Yeah.
Sick hands. He had sick hands, but yeah.
Well, whatever. What do you got?
Not nearly as good as yours, but it was. It's been in the back of my mind lately.
What you
You're
got?
up.
Oh, all
What you got,
right,
brother?
all right.
Changes.
Okay, so we'll start with the first part of the story. So, like, when I was looking at for colleges, I was originally supposed to go to Temple. I was going to tell one of my high school friends, I was like, hey, well, actually, I told him I would room with him at Temple. I think, like, 24 hours, after I told him that, I don't know what happened or what changed, but I was like, nope, I'm going to Pitt. So, just on a whim, I was like, okay, going to Pitt. No one from my hometown, so I'm Northeast PA. No one really goes to Pitt. I knew, one person out here, and I was like, this is what I want.
New challenge.
Yep, exactly. So I came to Pitt as an undergrad accounting and finance major.
I know this.
Yep. So came in accounting finance major. First semester, I already had some credits coming into college. So talking to my advisor, I just needed to fill some gaps. Just needed more classes to be a full-time student. And I was like, hey, can we do an anatomy class or something like that? And this is my accounting
kind
advisor.
of a nerd.
Yeah. He's
I was doing bowling.
He was asking me, he's sort of okay, I've never dealt with this before. I think we could figure that out. Then he put me in with this an anatomy 1 with all already declared exercise science kinesiology majors who were that's what they wanted to do. And then that to this day I think it was the best class I ever did in college. like overall. And then next semester, I was like, yep, I'm switching majors, going to the exercise science route, just because like I didn't see myself enjoying accounting or sitting behind a desk doing finance and stuff like that as much as dealing with like anatomy, biomechanics, like just everything like about the human body, which is what I loved, and why I'm sort of on the science side of things, because I do like numbers too. But like ultimately I was like I want to do something that I enjoy, or like that I want to be around, and it's like that I don't want to be around on Wall Street in a suit doing all that nonsense.
Nerd stuff.
Yeah.
I'd rather be doing GPS data in a bad office.
Well, without letting the secret out, do you think you'll be in here April 29th and 30th doing nerd stuff?
Me?
Yeah.
Probably.
There's gonna, we got
Probably.
big secret announcement
Probably.
coming
There you
out
go.
very soon.
Very
Meetings
cool.
this weekend. We'll
Yeah.
announce it next week.
Yeah.
But that's wrapping it up.
Awesome.
The Josh Elsas produced
The
Muslim.
era.
The era. All good things come to a close.
It's
And
season 3.
as a Greek friend once said to me, there are no goodbyes, only see you laters.
I like
So
that.
Josh, we'll see you later. We appreciate you. I tried to make it a moment.
Cut.
We wrote it. Thank you, brother. Take us that way.
Take us home. Take us out.
Thank you to everybody who has listened to the show, everybody who has said hi to us in the gym, that has given us feedback. This was a really cool thing that I got to do that wasn't in the original game plan, and I am so thankful that it was able to happen. In union, there is strength.